All right, guys, can you hear me? Hello?
Yep.
Okay, you guys can hear me. Um, is the whiteboard too far, or is it good enough on the screen for you guys? Or should I bring it closer? This may help. All right. Okay. We are gonna get started. Um, this is our 10th class. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're doing the homework. Okay. So before we get started, I'm gonna go through the schedule. Usually we do that on the 10th class. Just go through the next few weeks. So if you want to have your notes and stuff like that, so we're gonna get started. Uh, Today is March 14th. Happy Pi Day. I really don't care, but if you feel special, know pi very well. Is pi a rational or irrational number? Pi and e are one of the famous irrational numbers because they never terminate. And there is a competition called pi.com where you're supposed to memorize the decimal places. The last time, the prize money is $1 million. So the highest right now is, I think it's a 10,000 decimal places.
10,000
Yeah.
in a row?
Hey guys, you have to mute, please. Jackson, you want to mute, please? Thank you. So the pi is 10,000. So if anybody crosses that, then you get the $1 million. So that's how the prize is. I still believe they have that. Oh God, hold on. All right, March 14th, 10th class. Um, Next week, March 21st, is interesting, which is 11th class. This will be, all students will be on Zoom call. All students on Zoom. So there won't be any face-to-face class, everybody, because you will be actually taking a complete math science practice test. So I won't tell you what it is and stuff like that. So there will be a practice math science test, time test. I'll be there monitoring everything, but it'll be, so no more, not next week. Don't come here, okay? I won't be here. I'll be doing the class from home. March 28th, 12th class. April 4th is the Easter break. I need a break too, trust me. Then April 10th is the ACT review. Many have signed up for this. April 11th, 13th class. April 18th, 14th class. And April 25th, 15th class, the last class. So you have to make sure you remember this. The best is to put it in your calendar or some reminder, so that last time, I believe summer actually, we had students, one or two students that still showed up here, and we really, because it'll be a time test, so it's like a real test. And anybody who are still interested but have not signed up for this, the final call is this coming next Sunday. So, of course, April 17th is your test here. Okay, people who are taking the April 17th. So, I hope people taking the April will also take the June test. So, you have 2 more. April 25th, which is the last class, is a combined class with regular and advanced. I usually teach that class myself. Okay, is this all right with you guys? So, homework, and so forth. Okay. Of course, you guys needed much needed break. Okay. So this is important. Of course, I'll be sending reminders and stuff like that. Okay. All right. Good. You guys good? Okay. Now go and get your calculators. Page 11 of the math packet. We're gonna go boom, 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 full math today for next 1 hour. On page 11, did we complete equation of circle? I think we did. But
Yes. We went over it.
yep. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start with parabolas. Next is, so we're going to start with second conic section, the parabolas. Again, I want full attention from this, guys, okay? So there are 2 ways to represent a parabola, a U-shaped curve, ax squared plus bx plus c, the quadratic equation called the standard form. Called the standard form. Or you can do the vertex form, a times x minus h squared plus k, the vertex form. Now, the A and the A here, these 2 A's are same. You need to know that. These 2 A's are same. But B and C and H and K have no relationship. Okay? You can go from this equation to this equation easily. And you can go from this equation to this equation easily. So they are convertible, interconvertible equations. Based on what you're comfortable with, people use it. Of course, you guys know this leads to the quadratic formula, which I'm not going to teach you guys. So, either one plots a U-shaped curve. This is your vertex, HK. And this is your axis of symmetry. X is equal to negative b divided by 2a. Very important axis of symmetry. This is your C, y-intercept. And these 2 are your roots of the equation, x1 and x2. Open page 8 of the math packet, please. Page 8, and I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to review that. It's a huge page for you guys. So the graph I've drawn here, what is the value of a? Less than 0 or greater than 0? The way I've drawn it. So if it's opening up, a is greater than 0. If it's going down, closing down, it's okay. This point is also called minima. That's the lowest point. The other way is called the maximum. B squared minus 4ac, one of the most important for quadratics, is called the determinant or the discriminant of the equation that decides the type of the roots. Greater than 0 to real roots, less than 0 to imaginary roots, equal to 0. Most importantly, you have to know equal to 0, one real root. Good? All right, let me give you a problem, okay? And I know many students have struggled in this in the past. And I actually, for a change, wrote that down. So, here you go. And I'm going to give the multiple choice answers as well. So we have a quadratic equation y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Which of the following is always true? The graph I've drawn is drawn to the scale. And this being the origin. So this is drawn to the scale. If you have an answer, don't tell me the answer, just tell me your name. Give it some serious thought on this. And I just don't want you to pick an answer without reasoning. I need to know your reason as well later.
My screen's lagging. What is it? What's the last word on each of the answers?
AB is positive, B minus A is positive, negative C is positive, AC is positive.
Damon.
Ryan, okay. So far we have 3 people. All right. Damon, tell me, what's your answer and why?
So I'm gonna go with D
Okay.
because the parabola opens up, so we can know that our A is positive, and then C, our y-intercept, is above the origin. So I figured that A times C would be positive. At least that was my reasoning.
Well, then why AB is not positive?
Couldn't tell you.
I know that. I know that. That's the reason I need an explanation. Anybody? I knew you guys would pick D, but I need a reason. You guys still don't know what the correct answer is. I know. But you need to tell me why the others are wrong. Like a really MCAT test, actually. MCAT test, you need to know why others are wrong. So Damon, if you had given A and D both are correct, would you have picked that one?
Can you repeat that? I didn't quite catch that.
Let's say I had a Roman numerals one option as A and D are correct, only D is correct, only A is correct. Which one you would have picked?
Ooh.
I don't write these tests. I wish I can. It'll be fun for you guys.
I'd go only D is correct, or only, yeah.
Okay. Why is A is not correct? You're still
Not sure.
you're just picking the answer. I need to know the reason.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. You can all work together. Think.
I don't think you could find B with that information.
I can find B.
You can?
Yes.
How do you find B?
I'll find it. I'll teach you guys.
Okay. That's why I picked D, because I didn't know if there's ways.
See, this is what it is. You guys are good. Okay, let me tell you. This group is really good. I want you to be fantastic. There's a difference there. You need to be so damn confident that D is correct and A is wrong than to say D sounds better. That's high schoolish. Okay? That's not college. All right. D is correct. Okay? So that means the rest should be wrong. Okay? Well, this is easy because C is positive. C is positive, negative C is, so this is wrong. This is the easy one. Okay? How about these two? Okay, we need to figure this out, right? All right. That's why I'm saying this is so interesting problem actually. It's, when I saw this problem, it actually took me a little time actually. Here's what it is. Because I picked D too, but I need to figure out why AB are wrong as well. Okay. This is my axis of symmetry. All right? Listen, guys, listen. The axis of symmetry is on the right side of the y-axis, right? So that means x is greater than 0 here. So what is the axis of symmetry? X is equal to minus b divided by 2a. And a is a positive. X is positive. Minus has to be minus, because negative of negative becomes positive. So B has to be negative. That's why A times B is going to be negative, not positive. And B is negative, so negative minus A is negative. That's why these two are also wrong. Because the axis of symmetry lies towards the positive quadrant of the y-axis. Damon, what do you think?
I think I maybe should look at my notes a little bit harder. That was not too difficult at all.
It was not. That's why I actually taught you guys this. Remember, when students get good, I need to push you guys and not keep saying that you guys are great. Keep showing your weaknesses more than strengths, because you guys are doing well. All right, next problem. This is easy, okay? This one is easy. the vertex coordinate is 3, 4, and there's a point on the parabola phi 2. Write the equation of parabola in vertex form. If you have an answer, tell me your name. Kiki? Fine? Okay. Okay, Ryan, tell me your equation.
I had negative a, parentheses x minus 4, parentheses squared plus 3.
So where's A? Where is A?
What is that?
Yeah. When you write an equation, the constants have to be filled up. Only the x and y should be variables. Yeah, Kiki, what's your answer?
I had negative 1/2 x minus 3 squared plus 4, but I might have mixed up the.
Yeah, I did that too.
Anybody else?
I think I messed it up. I had mine backwards.
Anybody else have an answer? Yours is correct. Alright, so the first step is y is equal to 8 times x minus 3 squared plus 4, right? This is my h, this is my k. Right? Okay, good. Now, this point is on the parabola, that means this point must satisfy the equation. So y is 2, a, x is 5 minus 3 squared plus 4. So negative 2 is equal to 2 squared is 4, 4a. A is equal to negative half. Of course, I know what students do in the real test. They get to this point, and then they graph it and see which one matches. Yes, you sure can do it, but I don't want my students to be doing that way. I want my students to be confident in the fundamentals. What happens in college when there's not a multiple choice? Then are you going to depend on something? These are students who always say, oh, college is hard, because you don't know the basics, the fundamentals. College is not hard if you know your basics. Does this make sense? Yes or no? Okay. All right. Let's go back to this problem. Listen. I'm rotating this graph on its origin 90 degrees counterclockwise. 90 degrees counterclockwise. What is the new coordinate of this point? Phi 2. So, counterclockwise on origin 90 degrees. Go.
Done.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, what do you have?
Negative 2, 5.
Anybody match negative 2, 5? It's 1, 2, 3. Anybody else?
Yep.
Okay. All right, let me give a simple technique. Ryan, can I borrow you? Actually, I'll borrow this. I'm gonna write on this one. All right, I'm going to show you a simpler technique. I think this is going to help you guys a lot. And you guys have to watch this with me, okay? So this is your first quadrant, second, third, fourth, right? This is the plane of the movement. So this is clockwise, this is counterclockwise. 90 degrees, counterclockwise. 90 degrees. So now, first quadrant, second quadrant, negative 2, 5. You just have to do this. I'm gonna give one more problem on parabola, then we're gonna move on. Usually we do 2, but this is interesting. Question number 3. Sketch a schematic parabola. If A is less than 0, B is less than 0, C is less than 0. Let's see. All right. Anybody confident? 1, 2. Online students, anybody confident? All right. Let's get started. This is how I would do it. Okay? The first thing I would start is the axis of symmetry. X is equal to minus b divided by 2a. So, minus b is negative, a is negative, so it's going to be negative. So it's going to be somewhere here. Next, a is less than 0, so it should be a inverted parabola. So we know that one. So, okay, shape, inverted U. Okay, so we are good with that one. What else do I need to know?
How many roots there are?
How many roots there are? Excellent. Now you're talking the right words. So b squared minus 4ac. B is negative, negative square is positive, minus 4, negative, negative. So positive
Positive.
times negative is negative, right?
Mhm.
So it can be it can be either equal to positive or negative. Am I right? So you can have two real roots, or
Or,
it can be 0 too, because if they're exactly same values, right?
or two imaginary roots.
Yeah, two imaginary roots, or it can be 0 if their values turn out to be same. So one of the possible graph is this. Oops, I could have drawn that better. Right? What is missing here in this graph what I've drawn?
Y-intercept.
Y-intercept. Good. So, because it has to be a negative y-intercept.
Right.
So this can be this one, or it can be like this with imaginary,
Mhm.
or it can be a real root. So you can have three options for the roots, but the graph schematics, so you can draw three of them. Good? All right. Any questions on parabola before we move on? Let's go to ellipse. The equation of ellipse, okay? And I want to compare with circle, okay? X minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to radius squared. Am I right? First question to you guys. How can I convert an ellipse equation to a circle equation? Yes?
Since a squared and b squared kind of act like the radius in the ellipses, they would, if there was a circle, it would be the same answer, so you can multiply it by radius squared, so it'd be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared.
Exactly. If A and B are same as radius, then ellipse would become a circle. So look at the shape of this ellipse. So this is my ellipse, am I right? So this is my, what you call the major axis, 2A, and this is my minor axis, 2B. So this is my A, and this is my B. Okay, let's assume it's exactly at center point origin. If A is equal to B, then it becomes radius because it will be symmetrical, then it becomes a circle. So the definition of a circle is, actually technical definition is, a circle is an ellipse when the major axis equals minor axis. And actually the definition of a straight line is, it's an ellipse where B becomes 0.
Really?
Yeah, these are the technical definitions they use. Because if B becomes 0, this becomes a straight line. So what is 2A called? Major axis. 2B is called minor axis. And of course, the center coordinates is the H and the K. All right? These points are called the endpoints, the vertices, whatever you want to call these, okay? Because they're equidistant from the vertex. Yeah.
H and K is the center point of the ellipse. It's not always like the middle of the.
Oh, no, in this case it's 0, 0,
Okay.
but I can draw it anywhere.
Yeah, okay.
So some of the simple question in ellipse are, so let's try the question number 4 here. So this is an easy one. Okay. I have this information for you guys. Okay. With this information, find the equation of ellipse. Take your time. If you have an answer, tell me your name. 1, 2, okay. Anybody from online? I don't know if online students have gone quiet today or they are not able to hear me. Can you guys hear me? Online students?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. You guys are awfully quiet today. Okay. So let's get started here. So this is your major axis. This is your minor axis, right? So the main thing to always to find is A and B, of course, and H and K. H and K are easily given, 4 and 6. Okay. So this is a major axis in the x coordinate 4 and 10, so this should be 6. And in the y coordinate, that's minor axis B, this is 4, 6, 4, 2, this will be 4. So once you know that, it becomes pretty straightforward. X minus 4 squared divided by 6 squared plus y minus 6, thank you, squared, or 4 squared is equal to 1. Yes?
On the ACT, will the answer choices be like 6 squared, 4 squared, or will they be 36?
Yeah, doesn't matter. It can be either one of them. I've seen both. And I can tell you, just take your time on those things. Don't rush. Okay? Don't rush. Right? Okay. All right. Next question. Am I going fast today? Why online students? Why you guys are so quiet? Is something wrong? Or am I teaching really good or really bad here?
It's just new topics left to like take in and write down.
Okay, I'm gonna wait then. I'm gonna wait for a few minutes for you guys to soak up the sun here. Take your time. Okay. review the notes, what we have done so far, just because this is, I'm not teaching just for ACT, I'm teaching you for college. If you're gonna take calc-based physics or algebraic physics, you gotta know all these things. So, I'm just not teaching for the ACT. So. Okay, I want everybody to take 5 minutes time to review all we have done. And I'm not in a rush at all. I'm pretty well placed with my curriculum and my where I'm supposed to be. So there's no point for me to rush. Because I'm left with only one more topic after this, which is going to be on 28th. I'm going to be done with math. So I'm very well placed.
What's after this?
What's that?
What's after this?
English. Lauren.
In math, like what?
Oh, probability and statistics.
Oh, yeah. I've never done anything with that. So.
Yeah, it'll be a full 1 hour. See, that's why I wanted to keep myself having enough time to finish that. So next week will be full practice test, math and science. Next week will be, the following week will be probability and statistics. Then you have the break. Then is the April 10th full ACT review. April 11th, I think we are planning something different that day. But I'm pretty well set. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to finish off probability and statistics on 28th. That's my key. And I have my notes and my practice ready already. So there are a couple of topics we need to be a little bit more aware of. Yeah. Kiki, you have a question, you said?
Yeah, will we be going over arithmetic sequences and geometric sequences?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's page 9 of the math packet.
What kind of level of question is that? Like the ellipse one?
This would be maybe 40,
Okay.
40, 44. The next couple questions maybe 50s. I'm going to cover one more question, that may be question number 58, 59 today.
And for a point to count on the ellipse, like, so if you put in an x and y, that would be like a point on the on the circumference. Or
Sorry?
if you put in an x and y value.
Oh, it has to be on the peripheral. Yeah.
But and it has to equal 1 if it's on the circumference, right?
Exactly, when I plug X and Y.
Okay.
So this is the first thing I was told by my teacher, maybe 4th or 5th grade. Any point on a graph, for any graph, must satisfy its equation.
Right.
I never forget that, and never. So
Well, yeah, because then it's on point.
that is not on the point.
Yeah.
You can actually find that to find out whether it's going to be on the point using that equation actually. Damon, feeling better or need more time?
I'm good. Hey, Manoj. So
Saber, yeah.
obviously, A is 6 and B is 4, and you have 2A as a major axis and 2B as a minor axis. Do you disregard that 2, or what does that 2 stand for?
Well,
Just because it's on both sides?
yes, exactly. So an ellipse is a symmetrical conic section. All are symmetrical. I should have said not said that. All conic sections are symmetrical geometric figures. So the entire length is the major axis, which is 2a. But for equation, I only need a squared, so it is a half of major axis.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
You know, asking these questions really reinforces the basics. That's why I just don't like when people hold back. There's no reason for you to hold back.
So that the diameter would be 12, right? Of the ellipse?
No,
Or
the
is that-
major axis is we're going to
That's
talk.
not a thing in.
We don't call this a diameter.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because you technically have two diameters.
Right.
One is
Oh,
the
yeah.
major axis diameter, and so that's why they don't call it. So in the hyperbolas, we call it the transfer and the coordinate axis, because again, there is nothing called, it's not symmetrical on one point. Don't want to rush. The ellipse I just taught you guys is called a horizontal ellipse. Okay? Write an equation for a vertical ellipse. Go. So next topic, vertical ellipse. Just wanna make sure I took a picture of this. Okay. Damon, you said, just I'm curious. You said it's a new topic. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I've never worked with the eclipses before, so.
But I thought
eclipses-
I thought you're in pre-calc.
Yeah, we have not been. We've not covered this topic yet.
Yeah, it's all.
At least
This is
from my
chapter.
memory, we
This is
haven't.
chapter 10 of algebra 2. This is like a bare, and what I'm teaching is just a tip of an iceberg. There is a directrix, there's a latus rectum, and all these things need to be taught, which is not covered in
Yep.
ACT. You guys not learned these things?
I know for our district.
Is Sabrin here?
Yeah, I'm here. I also do not remember learning this stuff.
Yeah, they changed like the whole pre-calc thing, because we missed, at least in our district, we missed the last 2.5 months of algebra 2. So at least in my class, we've gone from like chapter 4 to chapter 8 to chapter 10, just based on what we missed. And I think ellipses is like the last thing that we do in pre-calc this year. Because we had to cover the last 2 months before we even start pre-calc.
My only concern is who says what's important and what's not, right? How they can pick and choose. This is damn important. I'm glad I asked that question. That's why you guys need to volunteer these informations. There's no, if you come to my college chem class, you'll be surprised how open students are. They're gonna say, hey, you know what? I didn't learn it. Could you please teach us? They're not gonna hold back. Nobody has time for, be honest with me. I'm glad you guys are telling me these things. This is the equation for vertical ellipse. So as the major axis is always follows as 2a, and it follows if it's in the y direction, it goes with the y. If it's in the x direction, it goes with the x. Simple. Easy to remember. Question?
I just when you told us to write it, I didn't think it mattered if you switched, because commutative property, it's adding, so you're just doing the same thing, aren't you?
No.
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 Okay.
Yeah, it's commutative property.
Oh wait, you switched the A's and the B's. I didn't
Yes.
see that. Okay, never mind.
Oh yeah, then that's the same. Yeah. Let me write the next question, but give me some time to frame this. Then once I'm good, you can write this. Okay? Determine the equation of ellipse in standard form and draw a schematic if the equation is 18 x plus 1 squared plus 3 y minus 9 squared is equal to 36. Go, have fun. Good question. And I would expect this around 58 or 59. I work with a school, some kids have done pre-calc, almost 3-4 chapters of pre-calc in their algebra 2, and they're doing 2-3 chapters of calc 1 in their pre-calc.
Yeah, well,
I'm glad Damon told me this. If you have an answer, tell me your name, please.
Sabrin.
Saber, tell me the equation.
My equation was x plus 1 squared over 2 plus y minus 9 squared over 13
You meant 12, not 13.
equals 1. What?
Did you say 12 or 13?
13, and then equals 1.
3 times 12 is 36. 3 times 13 is 39.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yep, that makes sense. 12.
Okay. Okay, next question. You're not done here. Is it a horizontal or vertical ellipse?
Vertical.
Good. What's the major axis value?
12. Right, yeah.
No. Major axis is 2a, not a squared.
Oh, yep. All right.
All right, let's get started. Here's partially right. So divide by 36 because it has to be equal to 1. So this becomes x plus 1 squared divided by 2, y minus 9 squared divided by 12, not 13, is equal to 1. Right, Sabrin? And this becomes a vertical parabola, vertical ellipse. So y minus 9 squared divided by square root 12 square plus x plus 1 square divided by square root 2 square is equal to 1. You guys with me? Because this is a square, b square, a square and b square. So major axis will be 2a, so 2 times square root 12, which is 4 times 3, right? So it'll be 4 square root 3. Minor axis will be 2 times square root 2, 2b. You guys with me? So let's schematically sketch this one. So, okay. So let's try to do this. -1 for x, 9 for y, somewhere here. So this is my value, -1, 9. All right? Then b is square root 12. Am I right? Could you guys tell me in decimal what is square root 12 approximately?
Square root 12 times 2, just square root 12.
Square root 12.
Square root
3.46. Let's go with 3.5. So 3.5 here, 3.5 here. You guys good? Okay, whatever. Okay. And then square root 2 is 1.41, so I know that part. So you guys got it? So my ellipse would look something like this. You guys got it? I want to add some juice to this one, so let's take it a little bit further. Let's talk about this particular point. What will be the coordinates of this point, okay? So this is -1, 9, right? 9 has not changed, so this is still is 9, so that's never changed. So it's -1, and you've added how much? Square root 2. So it'll be plus square root 2. So what will be this point? -1, negative square root 2, 9. Are you with me so far? This point here, square root 12 is 2 square root 3. So 2 square root, so minus 2 square root 3 because it's in the down direction, and this one would be -1, 9 plus 2 square root 3. So if I were to be writing an ACT question, I would start off with something like this, but would have a little bit more juice to this as a 59th or 60th question. Of course, knowing the very fact that you guys have approximately 1 to 2 minutes per question in the last 5. Anybody who has not studied this before, listen to this carefully. Anybody who has not studied this before should rewatch this video when I post it. There's no harm in spending more time and to be good at something when you go into this one. One more time, watch this one more time and you'll not forget this. And I feel like you guys are already getting this. Am I right? All right. See you guys next week completely online. Don't come here and come prepared. Next week will be math and science practice test. See you guys later. Stay here on this call, okay? Don't go anywhere.